Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and as you can see or hear, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host and good friend, Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, how are we, sir? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday and good evening. You had a long, late night last night, didn't you?
Sheesh, mate. Yeah, my football team decided to go to penalties, and then I had to get up at 4:45 this morning. Finished off watching Monday Night Raw. It's been a long day, my man. It's been a long day, but I'm glad to be sitting down talking some WWE. It's been a while since we had a little WWE catch up, mate. As we've been so busy with our Ignite stuff and God knows what else we've been doing. So we are 2 weeks away from Survivor Series War Games. Monday Night Raw this week was another solid effort from WWE. Let's break it down a little bit. I mean, we had heel turns, we had movement within the Intercontinental title, we had the women's division was highlighted a lot more on Raw. What floated your boat this week, sir?
Definitely the heel turn. We'll get into that. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when and how, and they played that off really well. Not too happy about the Intercontinental stuff. Not that I don't like The Miz, but I just think, I don't. You look at Gunther's matches recently or Gunther's matches recently, it's not going to be the same as, having even Ivar in there would have made a better difference. Good to showcase the women, but I'm just still waiting. Are we going to get the return next week, or are we going to get it at Chicago? Three letters, which is obviously RKO.
Did you get the thing I sent you?
Sorry?
Did you see what happened after Raw?
I did. You sent me the clip of Cody. We'll get into that because obviously that sums up the heel turn bit that we're going to get into. But I think if WWE, let's say, have sense, but I would think they should announce Randy Orton before Survivor Series to stop any.
You reckon? Any of the CM Punk talk?
Yeah, because there's talk about Nakamura because he keeps saying he's biding his time.
I saw that, yeah.
Yes, and he's doing that, and now everyone's going, CM Punk. No, it's
not. I mean, there's a lot of talk that CM Punk's behind the mask in AEW. That would be that would be one of the biggest works. Someone said to me today, that would be the biggest work since the Montreal Screwjob, and I went, I think the Montreal Screwjob was a work. Anyway, let's briefly chat on it while we're talking Raw and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to be Randy Orton. I'm 99.9% sure that Randy Orton is going to be at Survivor Series War Games. Is there still a slim chance of you that thinks, because we're now, CM Punk's been very clever. I don't know if you've been seeing his Instagram posts. He loves getting wrestling fans talk. He just does it. I think he's just bored sitting at home, but he's put out certain tweets that link him to WWE and that potentially, crazy as it may sound, could link him to going back to AEW. I mean, where are you with it all at the minute, mate? It's Randy Orton for me. Like I think you said 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we chatted about it to nauseam. We think it's going to be Randy Orton. He's been at the Performance Center for well over 2 months now, working on his in-ring, making sure that his injuries. WWE aren't just going to throw you back into what's probably going to be the biggest storyline leading up to the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then Mania. So you've got the big 3 coming up after this. After 2 weeks Saturday, we're pretty much on the road to WrestleMania because then the next pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble. Is there any chance that CM Punk turns up in Chicago 2 weeks Saturday?
Oh, it's the age-old cliche, isn't it, wrestling? You never say never. I doubt it.
Do they both turn up?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, I think the reason why I don't think so is because Punk's playing too much on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Instagram posts and God knows
it could still be just to throw you all off the scent, and maybe he could, and maybe he is. And
they recently released that backstage. But when he come and done WWE backstage, it's a bit odd how that's now been leaked by WWE because they have to give. It was them that filmed it. I don't know if you saw the film crew, and they followed Punk around for the day.
Yeah.
And it was like they tweeted it out, and he's now back on the website. You can buy some of like the his old merchandise. You can he's because before he had vanished from everything WWE. He wasn't on the website. He wasn't mentioned with the legends and stuff like that. You see, like you can buy Hogan merch, you can buy Ultimate Warrior merch, you can buy Randy Savage merch, you can buy CM Punk merchandise now from WWE.com. There's no smoke without fire with WWE. And maybe they're just playing along thinking, oh, do you know what, fuck it. If you want to play silly games, we'll make some money. We'll put some merchandise out, them kind of things. Or is it all smoke and mirrors? And we're going to get one of the biggest fucking pops ever when Randy Orton and CM Punk are both in Chicago.
Yeah, you could do. I mean, it would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting it, but it would be incredible if they did both show up. I'm going to be very much avoiding the spoilers or anything like that, because that Saturday night, when I get up with my boy Sunday morning before we head off to Progress,
Yes,
I'll be watching Survivor Series then, and I don't want to be, spoiled by anything. So it'll just be a case of keeping off our WhatsApp group, because we know that we get spoiled on that.
Oh yeah, mute the WhatsApp group, mate. Turn the phone off.
It's not necessarily for me and you.
Draw the curtains. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Shoot the carrier pigeons coming over your house, all that malarkey. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be the same as you, mate. I'm probably going to watch it. I like the Saturday night ones because I'm a bit of a night owl anyway. So I'll probably watch it and then wait for you to text me saying you watched it. I think it's going to be Randy Orton. Whether CM Punk, it's whether WWE would want him back after knowing what's happened in AEW, knowing what's happened in the past in WWE. But it might be a case of now that Triple H has just gone. Let's see what happens, even if it's till Mania. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, if you had to, at the minute it's good because it's War Games and there's teams. If you were, say they said to you, right, Adam, CM Punk's coming back at Survivor Series. What are you going to do with him after Survivor Series? Because we've got the whole bloodline, we've got the Uso thing going on, we've got the Cody thing going on. Where are you plonking him? Because you can't really, Intercontinental, that ain't happening. It's got to be Seth and Punk. That's the only way for me that you potentially could go.
Yeah.
Do you throw him straight into a program with Seth Rollins and you're away to the races? But saying that, do you do the same with Randy Orton?
Yeah, that's the thing, though, isn't it? And this is the beauty of it. Where do you put them after this? I would potentially have Orton dethrone Gunther.
Ooh, I like that. Better than the Miz dethroning him. Let's put it.
Well,
I like the Miz.
That doesn't happen.
What they're doing, I think. Could you imagine if Miz beats? Oh my god! Good. I mean, he's getting really over it a minute, which is good to see because we want to see. We've said many times we want to see him more on TV. But I like the idea of Orton, Gunther. Do they long it out to Mania, or does he take it at the Rumble? I think there's going to be something big that needs to happen at Elimination Chamber in Australia. I think that's going to be because that's the go home pay-per-view where me and you are going to be watching that at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I think the ending of that's going to be like, here we fucking go.
The other thing I mentioned is Cody Rhodes mentioned a certain great one in an interview very recently and said that basically, even if The Rock's at Mania or something along the lines of he's not going to be in my match or something along those lines where he'll be above The Rock and things like that. It's quite interesting to make that comment. Not have The Rock anywhere. Now, I know the writer strike's over and everyone will be coming back to.
They wanted to do it last year. They didn't quite get it together. I mean, I think if you're going to do it, now's the Philadelphia. I think now, I don't think you can leave it another year because people a bit like when Mayweather fought Pacquiao 4 years after we all wanted to see it.
Yeah,
everyone will be like, I don't really want to see this now. And WWE have done that. They've done it with Austin and Lesnar when Lesnar was on his way out, and that match got booed out of the building. Was that one of the Manias you were at?
Goldberg Lesnar, sorry. No, it was the one before I went out there, but
and that got booed out of the building, and it was just like. No, it was too late. So the
latest they could do it is probably SummerSlam next year. That would be cut off for me. I don't want to know after that because that is really the end of it, isn't it?
Could that potentially mean then that Roman could get dethroned at Mania, but then still go into a storyline with The Rock come SummerSlam? Do you reckon?
Yeah, exactly. Because Roman will then be more of I'm not saying he's not more of an attraction, but he won't be like he's not going to be wrestling every week. He doesn't at the moment, so. No. It'd be more of let's put the big matches on him, and then that would be the way to do it. Cody or whoever will be SmackDown champion and will be there every week. He'll have a champion on Raw every week. Now Logan Paul is now a full-time wrestler, apparently.
Yes, another snippet of news. He's retired from boxing. Thank fucking God. And he's a full-time wrestler. And the internet is still up in arms about him being United States champion. I have zero issues with him being United States champion. Obviously, SmackDown last week, there was the whole LA Knight thing, and Grayson Waller's involved a little bit. And I think it's going to be LA Knight versus Logan Paul. It's just potentially, when do they pull the trigger on LA Knight? Or do they pull this? Because I think the whole Logan Paul thing could run till Mania. I don't think he's going to have a long reign. I think if he's full-time in WWE, I still think he's going to be very much a pay-per-view, the odd SmackDown here. Yeah. And I saw an interview, I think it was yesterday, I was watching something online. And that's where we are now with wrestling. It's gone to the days of they're on every week. You know, to get these quote-unquote YouTubers and podcasters, I'm not saying me and you are going to be rocking up at WrestleMania, but you never know. I think that's where wrestling is now, mate. I think Roman, we know why he can't wrestle all the time. And anyone that doesn't know, you're a complete idiot because of the whole leukemia. His illness and stuff like that. He can't wrestle full time. That's just purely health reasons and stuff like that. And he's negotiated that in his contract, and he shouldn't wrestle all the time. I think Logan Paul's going to be the same. I think that's where we're going with wrestling now. Do you think that they'll pull the trigger with an LA Knight and Logan Paul match at the Rumble? Or do you think that longs out for 4 months till Mania? I mean, you said it last year. Me and you were sitting down doing a podcast last year. We said, oh, my God, we've got some build down to Mania. I mean, where do they go with it now?
I think LA Knight will eventually dethrone him. I still believe Logan Paul and Cena will probably get it on at Mania. Or at Mania, it wouldn't surprise me if Logan Paul takes on Bad Bunny. I know.
I know we're talking about attractions, and I don't mind it, but Adam, don't take the piss now.
But other than that, it could be John Cena. Not necessarily dethrones Logan Paul, but John Cena, Logan Paul in an attraction match, and LA Knight would be United States champion. I still
think they want Cena to break the record. I don't think they want Flair to have it. I think he could retire as
the face of Collision now, Ric Flair, by the poster.
Yep, I don't know how you review that, mate. Anyway,
only 8 minutes this week.
You're doing a good job, mate. You were doing a good job. I'll take my hat off to you, sir. What else did we like on Raw? Obviously, let's talk about the Intercontinental a little bit, because the reaction of The Miz from the crowd is something I thought I'd never see, and Wade Barrett alluded to it on commentary this week, something he thought he'd never see. The Miz is really over right now. Now, is this a case of, I don't know, I can't put my finger onto why he's over. I mean, Daniel Bryan, you kind of got it, because it's that momentum. The Miz has had, me and you probably spoke about a month ago, going, The Miz is jobbing out. He's not really doing much. Yeah. So we send him back to NXT. Where's this uproar? Where's this uplift from The Miz? In your opinion, where's it come from? Because it's not dirt sheets. It's just the audience, for whatever reason now, and I don't mind it, seem to be behind him.
I mean, I think it all stemmed with that Gunther thing, wasn't it? I think it was last week or the week before when they kind of slandered him a little bit, didn't they? They kicked off the 4-way, which was a botch finish last week.
Ricochet kicked out and shouldn't have.
Whoops, sorry. I don't know. I don't even know where the push has come from, to be quite honest. Unless he's just another victim for Gunther, which I suppose you could look at it that way. Former Intercontinental Champion or multiple-time Intercontinental Champion in The Miz. That's the only thing I can see. I don't know where they're going with that one. That's really weird. But changing subjects, JD McDonough officially joined Judgment Day.
Yes, that was next on my list. What did you make of the way they done that? It was Damian Priest backstage, and he handed him a jacket and went, "Welcome to the Judgment Day." And I was a bit like, "Oh, that's a bit shit." Bearing in mind how the storyline's been going the last, we'll say month, maybe 2 months, Damian Priest is like, "No, you've got to earn it, you got to do this, you got to do that," and then all of a sudden he just walks up to me and go, it's like he was just turned into a blue coat or something. It's like, "Here you go, mate. Here's your jacket. You're in." And I was like, "Oh, that's a bit crap." And then obviously we'll get to the end in a minute of someone else that potentially now in that faction. But what did you make of it? I've listened to a few podcasts since Monday, a couple of wrestling ones that I listened to, and they're the same opinion of me. WWE, did they drop the ball a little bit there with that whole JD McDonough getting into the Judgment Day, or is it just they had to do it, so they just quick, pull the trigger, done?
I think it was a case of he was always going to go in. It was just
Yeah.
when. I mean, you could argue that was a little bit of a disappointing way to go in, but I think Priest was the only one that originally didn't want him in. So I suppose he's won Damian Priest over, took a bullet a few times, but like Sammy did for the bloodline before he got put in there properly.
Honorary Oos.
The honorary use. He certainly was. That's all I can think of. The fact that he paid his dues, Damian Priest, and Damian Priest was keep going on about he was the leader, which was quite interesting because they always said they didn't have leaders, but now he's kind of up on it, and he's still got the money in the bank.
We're getting good at this, ads. I'm liking these segues here, mate. Where are we going with the money in the bank? Is that looming? So, no way it's happening because, well, no one, Seth's defending it. Seth's not defending. Roman's not even there. So park this one.
Priest is in the same match as Seth, which can he not cash it in during War Games?
I was literally, mate, we should be Jedis. I was literally about to say this. I'm thinking Seth's done something. They won the match, but Seth Sparko, he's out. Damian cashes in at Survivor Series with the help of someone we're going to speak about in a minute. It could happen because, cash in anytime, anywhere. Just because Seth's not a one-on-one match, he could be. This is War Games. There's going to be bodies flying everywhere. Do you think it could happen at War Games? Because as much as I'm enjoying the whole, I still think it's going to be a failed cash in. I'm not sure. Or is it a case of the Judgment Day on Raw holding everything apart from the IC title?
No, I think what's going to happen is he's going to cash it mid-match. I like that. Sounds more thing. And my feeling,
JD McDonough.
No, I think he's going to take an accidental Claymore. And that's kind of giving away what we're talking about.
Just when I said we were getting good at this. No, but you are right. That could set up something. So let's talk about that while we're doing it. The heel turn that me and you have been talking about for weeks and weeks. Hurry up and do it, WWE. Drew McIntyre turned full heel at the end of Raw. He come out, give main event Jey Uso a Claymore.
Cost him the titles.
Cost him, could have potentially won the tag team titles, rolled back into the ring, 1, 2, 3, and Raw went off the air with Drew McIntyre shaking hands with Mummy Rhea Ripley, because we're the only ones of Judgment Day left in the building. Does this mean that Drew's just with them for this little bit heading into War Games, or is he a fully fledged member?
Well, I think he's a fully fledged member. I think it's just a one-off kind of thing. But he's still stemming from the fact that I thought initially it was a receipt just because the bloodline cost him so many.
A year ago, yeah, they mentioned it on commentary, didn't he? Drew's still pissed off from a year. I'm thinking a year ago. I can't remember what I did last week. But yeah, what did you think? It's about time.
He needed it. He needed to go heel. We don't know. Still don't know what his contract, and I think that's the big thing. Why they haven't put the belt on him, because no contract.
I think he's still signing. I think he's signing.
Possibly.
Then WWE with Vince there or no Vince there, they're not putting him in these kind. You've watched WWE long enough to know that if they think you ain't fucking signing a contract, you're not really going to be on TV much. You'll be backstage doing some funky segment with the New Day or something. You know what I mean? You'll be on the Grayson Waller effect. It'll be something like that. The fact that they're putting him in here, to me, says he's signed. It just hasn't been announced yet. Or he's going to sign his new deal, because there is still talk of him going to AEW and TNA, and, who knows where he could pop up. But I don't know, mate. I personally think he's staying in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I'm still of that opinion that he's not.
Okay.
I don't think he is. I think everyone was banging on about it at All In this year.
Do you remember?
Yeah, and I think that potentially it could happen next year. But we can't really get onto a bit of AEW talk because there's a lot of stuff going on now about AEW not being profitable at the minute, and the deal with Warner that is not happening. It's dead. So that'll be an AEW chat for when we do that, and probably on Friday or whatever. Dave, maybe Dave will come and join us on that, which will be.
Who? We used to have a guy called Dave on here.
We did.
Nice fella.
Yes, so hopefully he'll be joining us and we can have a bit more of a conversation about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring something up, and I read this the other day, and it's not Raw related, but it is WWE related.
Mm-hmm.
On now, and potentially UFC kind of influences here. WWE are now considering having sponsorships on the ring.
Oh, going down that route, are we?
We are.
Oh, hang on. Well, hello, hitting the turnbuckle, please. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what though, mate? It's the way the world's going nowadays. Everything's what they had the sponsored match, didn't they?
Cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon, yeah, come on, that mate, and that probably was WWE probably made out of that. Yeah, we'll say 4 or 5 million.
Oh, they make 50 million a time every time they go to Saudi Arabia. So
there you go. So it's all, unfortunately, mate. I think me and you mentioned it a good few months ago now. From where we were with wrestling, and I think we got into the conversation of things we don't like about the industry right now. Is to do anything for $1. We know that with Saudi Arabia trips. We know that with Crown Jewel. We know that with the sponsored match. One of Bray Wyatt's last matches was a sponsored match at SummerSlam. And it's where wrestling's going now. And unfortunately, mate, I think it's gonna be the way that it's gonna be.
Could you imagine commentary and Drew McIntyre gets whipped into the pedigree charm steel steps?
He's just taken a fruit shoot off the top rope.
That's where it's going to go. Yeah, I don't like that idea either. But
they'll bring back. They'll make us have the McDonald's 24/7 title or something. It'll be something like it'll be. It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be along them routes, mate. Unfortunately, that's where
let's segue back to the women.
Yes, good. Yeah, not a good showing from the women on a Raw this week.
Very good. And obviously Rhea Ripley now has her opponent. Zoe Stark. I like Zoe.
I do. Badass.
Very much exactly that. Very much a badass. Very much I'm going to kick 7 lumps of shit out of you and you're going to have to kill me to beat me type character, which is quite nice, which is good to see. I still think Rhea will win that. I don't see
Jade Cargill's taken that title. I don't know when. I don't know where Jade Cargill's taken that title.
I think that's near enough a given. Now it's just a case of when.
They're not going. When's Jade Cargill going to debut? Do you think, in your opinion? Because we've seen her on NXT. She's been backstage at SmackDown. She's been backstage at Raw. We haven't officially seen her in a WWE. We've seen her in the building. We've seen her looking down from afar at NXT at the pay-per-view. We've seen her backstage at Raw. We've seen her backstage at SmackDown. We've seen her. Are they leaving it a little bit? We know she's there. Is it a case of she's working with the coaches at NXT and that's why we haven't seen her yet? Because I personally think you can't long the Rhea Ripley. If you're going to do Jade Cargill, you ain't longing that out till Mania. Surely not. That's got to be a main attraction at a Royal Rumble, I'm guessing. Does she win the Women's Royal Rumble? Does she come in and win the Rumble?
That's likelihood. I mean, and again, with Jade, everyone used to say, "Oh, her in-ring work wasn't that great," so it'd be easy to put her in a Rumble where she can just fucking throw people over the rope, can't she? There's not really much to do, is it? Because she can hit a couple of. I can't remember what a finisher is now. What it was now. I know it's like a glam slam. But I can't remember what she called it. But yeah, she could hit a few of those. Interestingly enough, obviously on SmackDown, they're missing a partner for the War Games match, which. I don't think it'll be her. I mean,
imagine that your debut's War Games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even thinking about more worried about having Orton in the War Games
with the injury. Limit him. I say limit him? How the fuck do you limit someone in War Games? It's one of the most brutal matches. It's probably worse than fucking Hell in a Cell. Some of the shit they get up to, like last year, it was obviously
about Sammy, wasn't it?
Yeah, you had the bloodline and the low blow at the end, and War Games was brilliant last year. I really loved it. How do you limit Randy Orton in this kind of match?
You shove him in last, obviously.
Look after him a little bit.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can put him in last because obviously it's like with War Games, it's generally that the heels have the advantage. So they're doing the advantage match on Raw this week, which Monday coming, which we'll see who gets advantage. And by the way, just a segue of AW, Full Gear Sunday. You need to watch that.
Do I?
Yeah, we need to review it.
Do I?
Yes, unfortunately.
Adam. Okay.
But anyway, Randy Orton going in last, really. I mean, the other thing was, and we mentioned it, who's Nakamura targeting?
Brock Lesnar. I don't know. He's got to be back soon.
Rumble, isn't
I think this bit now, this is where everyone starts to come back. I don't know. In answer to your question,
He's targeting someone, isn't he? He's biding his time. He keeps
yeah, he's doing some
waiting.
wacky backstage
What?
interviews. Obviously, had the whole
Pete
Otis
Otis.
match. Yeah, he had Otis this week, and
Pete
that was
Tozawa last week. There's no surprise, but
yeah. Chad, Chad Gable looks like they're setting something up with him. The end of the match this week.
I don't think he was the one.
That could just be a filler on Raw for next week. Who's he targeting? Is it anyone that's current, like on TV?
Well, this is it. I mean, that's why everyone was saying Punk, because
I saw loads of that today, lots of graphics.
Here's the question: if Punk is there,
yeah,
do you have him kick off Survivor Series in fear of having Punk chance? Because there was Punk chance on Raw.
Hurt a lot of Punk chance, even if they tried to drown him out.
Have him kick off Survivor Series?
No, I don't think you do.
No?
The problem is, we all know. Me and you have been. It's Cody Rhodes come on the microphone when Raw went off the air. The clip that I sent you earlier, saying, "Oh, so the Judgment Day have got friends." Well, we've got friends, and the whole arena just went Randy, RKO.
Yeah.
So you know, it's. Do you know what you make a great point, because we all know it's happening. Do you just have him come out and like, I'm the partner, I'm in the main event, blah 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 blah, or is it they're all in the ring and Randy Orton comes out last? Because the only problem you've got then, mate, is everyone's in the ring. We think we're waiting on Randy Orton. It's in Chicago. There's only one name they're going to be chanting, but then you're going to hear Randy Orton's music. So you kind of
that's why I said I think they need to do that first.
They could do,
or as you say, do they both there? And they announce Orton on Monday. He gets jumped at Survivor Series before
someone else
doesn't not in the match, and then Punk comes out.
I like it.
We're throwing a lot of shit out there, and Punk's probably not even going to be there. But
no, he's very clever right now with his Instagram and his fucking all his posts that he's doing, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to War Games though, mate. I'm looking forward to SmackDown this week. Anything else Tippett wise that you want to get into while we're here talking? Who? I didn't hear you. No, you literally broke. Your mouth moved, and nothing come out.
Xia Li.
Oh yes, okay. Wait, what do you want to talk about?
Well,
Xia Li?
She obviously annihilates another one. She's like, Tegan. Was it Tegan or was it?
Yeah, and then Becky Lynch come down.
How long has she been in WWE now? 5 years. Hell, I thought it's been ages.
Not on the main roster.
No, together.
Oh, in WWE, 5-6 years.
And we've just finally, they've just finally decided. Oh,
yeah, but catering. She's been in catering. How many times do we have to have this discussion?
There was a painter still in there, if you believe. No, I mean,
yeah.
Well, Jake Cargill in a minute. Yeah, I mean, where are they going to go with her? Because she seems to be stopping everybody. It's like referee stoppage every time.
Becky. Well, obviously the Becky Lynch looks like they could be going down the Becky
route.
She was
on NXT, I think, this week or last week with the champion, Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's going after her as well. It's weird with that one. I don't know.
I genuinely think outside of Bayley and her little cronies,
that's stronger than ever.
Yeah, WWE haven't got a clue what to do with the women's division right now. I don't think they know what to do with it, because it's nowhere near what it was.
Neither momentum's dropped a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't on Raw this week.
I thought, didn't she have a skit with Becky?
Did I miss something where she?
Other than that, I'm getting confused. I've done the Raw review.
I know Becky come out during. Was she on Raw? Yeah, she did. I apologize, but
Becky Lynch has got Xia Li next week, and Nia's got Raquel Rodriguez next week.
Yeah, I know they announced the matches for next week, but
Team
Cody, they need to do something.
Big thing I don't like next week. Team Cody versus Team Judgment Day for advantage. Don't like that, because you were getting that match on the Sunday. So why do we need to see it on Monday?
Yeah, what is this advantage match?
So all it is,
explain it to me, please, in layman's terms.
They used to, I think they've done a ladder match once on NXT. Basically, what it is, obviously, a War Game starts, you have two in the ring, don't you? And in 5 minutes, the buzzer goes off. Well, whoever the advantage is, it'll be the first one whoever wins that match Monday will get advantage, meaning when that first 5 minutes is up and they get a buzzer to announce someone that's coming out, it'll be from that particular team.
I've got you, mate.
Normally the heels win it because the faces normally go over.
Yep, I've got you.
So I don't like it. I wouldn't have minded one-on-one. So Cody picks either Seth himself, Jey Uso, or Sami Zayn to go against a one of Judgment Day. But I'm not a fan of having a team versus team ahead of a team versus team match in War Games. What's the point?
Yeah.
But also, we have to just sidetracking. Well wishes to Rey Mysterio, had surgery on his knee.
Yes, going to be out for quite a while, I heard. Yeah, so yeah, sending him well wishes. Just one thing then, maybe, just while you were talking there. Do you think we flip it back to Cody and Seth after Survivor Series? Because they had the coming together, they had the whole backstage thing on Raw. Is there a potential for Cody and Seth having a little run before we still haven't fucking figured out how we're getting to Cody and Roman at Mania? Me and you, again, we've said this many times. They might not even fucking do it.
I think they will do it. I think you're right. Seth and Cody program would work because Seth is owed a win.
Yeah.
So I think Seth would win it, and we still will get to Cody and Roman.
How are you getting there? Without Cody winning a Rumble?
Something to do with Elimination Chamber, maybe.
Winner gets Roman at Mania.
Well, he's not on Raw. Oh, it doesn't really matter, does it?
That definitely does not matter. That's why I'm thinking they go easy and Cody
and
wins the Rumble 2 years running.
Find a way of getting Jey back onto SmackDown to take on Jimmy at Mania. That's what I'm guessing. That's where they're going with.
Yeah. Let's one of the Usos wins the Rumble.
How would that put him against the other one? If you win the Rumble, you get guaranteed title shot.
That's a fucking I've had a brain fart. Elimination Chamber's got Elimination Chamber's been the one in the past, hasn't it? You win, you're inserted into the main event and yada yada yada. I still think Cody fights Damian Priest at some stage for the briefcase.
Need to hurry up.
Wins it and cashes in on Roman.
Maybe.
I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know how. That's why I'm thinking they might not do Roman and Cody one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Maybe do a triple threat.
That would be better. Because I think it's going to be the whole year of him nearly getting there. Like you say, you could have the program with Seth. Seth will win, go over, keep the title. And then they're like, oh, you couldn't win that one. You couldn't keep the tag team titles. Yada, yada, yada. You couldn't do it. And then Mania, bam, pay off. And then, like you said, Roman potentially has a little something with The Rock, maybe, but I still think he'll have a long break from wrestling after this. And I've got a feeling we probably couldn't see him. I think we won't see him for up to a year. WrestleMania 41. I think it could be WrestleMania 41 before you see him again. I think WWE just go in a completely fucking right. We've done this for X amount of years since COVID times with the Bloodline. We literally go with Seth, Cody, away to the races, and we try something new.
Does Heyman screw Roman and align himself with Solo somehow to keep him on TV and to keep aligning Heyman with?
If Punk comes back, what's Heyman doing? Does he?
Yes, we talk about that as well.
Woo! Yep. Jesus, there's a lot to take in. But yeah, mate, it's been good. It's been good WWE TV so far this week. We've had NXT. We've got SmackDown.
Oh my God, you need to see Dragunov eat an end of days from Baron Corbin on that.
I'm watching NXT tonight as it goes. I look forward to watching that. SmackDown coming up this Friday. Solo, he's back. I don't think
Sheamus is back.
I don't think Roman's scheduled for SmackDown again. I'm wondering if he does anything at War Games. Do you just not have him there at all?
Not there.
My trouble chief. Trouble chief, mate. There's a trouble chief.
Fucking hell.
No? Oh, all right, Roman, you sit there.
Oh.
Hang on. What about this one? No? Oh, okay. Well, no trouble chief for me then. Oh, no.
Start calling you Max.
mate. I can't reach them. They're all over there. There's a lot of tribal chief in this room. But no, Ads, it's been good catching up on some WWE talk with you, my friend. We have interview Thursday. I am back doing interviews on Thursday.
You've got Brian Hebner.
Brian Hebner on Thursday. You've got another couple of podcasts to do today.
I've got Fiona with NWA shortly, and after that, I'm sitting down with a co-promoter of UKPW, who apparently is going to chew my ear off, is what he was the words that he used.
Oh, gosh, I look forward to listening to that. I am off to Apex Wrestling tonight in Milton Keynes to go and meet them. So hopefully we'll have some cool content to put out from Apex.
And in a couple of months, we can start announcing the class of 2024.
Yes, we can. The negotiation. We are around the table. We are going to be sponsoring some wrestlers, and we've got some events coming up. But yeah, we'll be announcing our class of 2024 coming up from the Hitting the Turnbuckle team. Welcome to Chris, by the way. Chris, yes. Right, he's now joined the Hitting the Turnbuckle team full time. When you see some of the great photos that we've put out in the past, and when I've been at Apex, Chris does all of them along with Rachel, who does an incredible job with our Instagram, by the way. There's a lot of work that goes on. It ain't just me and Adam. So we got the easy part. We just put a microphone on and talk about what we love. These guys and girls put out the great content, the photos, the Instagram. Rach does a great job. So yeah, we've got SmackDown reviews coming up. We've got, like you say, Adam says, it's making me watch, not making me watch, AW's this weekend. Please, Dave, be available. We'll be back. I'll be back with Adam talking some SmackDown, and then next Monday, let's not forget, may have heard of this guy. Next Monday, myself, Adam, and Fiona are sitting down with Eric Bischoff to talk all things professional wrestling. So make sure you go and check us out on all social media so you don't miss anything. At HTT Buckle on Twitter, Hitting the Turnbuckle on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Did I miss anything?
Threads.
What is this thread you keep talking to me about? I've got one here on my t-shirt.
It's just another addition to Instagram.
Right. It's Instagram's little baby.
People follow you on it.
Do we? How are we doing on there? Are we doing good?
I even looked.
Brilliant. Fantastic. But we'll be back. Adam will be back later today. We'll just keep an eye on all our content. We've got loads coming out this week. But as always, thanks for tuning in to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been your host, Andy Burrows. He has been the man, Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody. Buckle down.